morning, everyone. Welcome to our last Facebook Live for 2023. My name's Michelle Greck and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. How is everybody tonight? Hope you're all coping with this humid, hot weather here in Melbourne. We've been wishing for summer and here it is. Not quite like we planned, I don't think, but you know, we've got cyclones in the northern part of our country and we've got unseasonably humid weather here in Melbourne, but it's warmed up, right? So I believe tonight we're going to get a bit of a change. We're going to get some rain a bit later on and we're going to lose some of the humidity, I think. So I will really appreciate that because I'm not a fan of humid weather. And yeah, so if you're joining me here tonight live, pop into the, oh, I've got some feedback there. Let me just reduce the volume on that. Yeah, if you're joining me here live, pop into the comments, say hello, let me know that you're here. Hi Lynn, how you going? How are you coping with this weather? I have to say it's really, really hot here in my craft room tonight. I get the sun most of the day on a window that's right in front of where I'm live streaming from. And so by the end of the day, it's really, really hot in here. And even though we've got evaporative air conditioning, which of course isn't as effective when the weather's humid. So I'm just sweating up a storm here. So, but yeah, so never mind. We'll be crafting, and once I get crafting, then we won't worry about it, right? Hi Sue, how you going? Yes, we do. I love the colours of these papers as well. So sorry about that. We've got a bit of a glare tonight. I think it's, let me just pop something under that stamp set, I think, maybe to try and, we're going to be using it in a minute anyway. It's my light over the top. That's not any better anyway, so we'll just live with the glare, I think. So if you can see underneath my products tonight, you can see, I don't know if you can see the whole square of this mat, but this is a glass mat that Stampin' Up! Has now. Well, actually, it's going to be part of the joining special. Let me start again. It is the joining special for the 2024 celebration. So in this catalogue here, which of course I can't show you the inside, but if you join Stampin' Up!, purchase a starter kit during January and February next year, you will be able to receive this beautiful glass mat. So it's not just the mat, I have to say. So let me just move these things out of the way. Along with the mat comes this palette. So it's a silicone palette, which once you drop it down onto the mat, it sticks to your mat, and you can use it to do mixing of your colors and blending and those sorts of things in there. If you like to use reinkers and mix them with things, or embossing paste or those sorts of things, you can pop your little Stampin' spots in the top here. You can pop your ink pads over here so that when you're opening them up and you're using your blending brushes, they're not sliding around all over the place. It's fabulous. It's silicone, so it's not going to move anywhere. I think it's fabulous. And the other thing that you get with it is this chamois. So the whole thing is actually called it's called the Glass Mat Studio, I think is the actual term for it. Let me just check. I can't show you the inside of the catalogue, but I can have a quick flick and actually see what it's called. Yeah, so Glass Mat Studio is what it's called. So demonstrators were able to pre-order this in December in anticipation of it being part of the joining special in January. So we can show you how beautiful it is. So your chamois here, you can use that to either clean your stamps, you can use that to clean your glass mat when you get ink and sticky stuff on it. So I love stamping on glass, I have to say. It's really solid. It's not going to go anywhere. It's such a smooth surface. It really is fantastic. So look out for that. If you're interested in that, then you might want to consider purchasing the starter kit in January or February. I mean, the starter kit on its own is a fantastic deal without the added special of the glass mat. So, but as you can see here now, we have I don't know whether I can point to it. We've got a line here, which is from my light above. I've actually turned off my ring light that's over this side just because it's leaving a bit of glare. So I'm not sure how it will go underneath my lights. It might be just something that I just covet and use when I'm crafting over in my crafting space over to my other side, and perhaps not use it in my lives just because of the lights above. And I've got lights, directional lights that come in from the right hand side here. You can just see that little one over here. I might have to invest in some more lights that come in from the side rather than above. Hi Di, how you going? Hi Marg, hi Roz. Oh, yours arrived today, fantastic. The other thing is on the other side of it, I won't tip it over, but it's got little silicone feet underneath, so that sort of helps keeps it steady. And also when it came, I've taken these off, which I'm sure you're supposed to, but it has these little like corner things, which let me just pull it down so that you can see. So these sort of fit on the corner, and I sort of think they were for like traveling for packaging to make sure that the corners didn't break, but you could actually leave them on there if you wanted to actually protect the corners of your mat. I actually took them off. But also if you were transporting your mat anywhere, you would probably put them on, I think. The other thing is it has both metric and imperial measurements on it. Depending on the market that you're in when you join and get your mat, and I believe that these will be available for purchase for existing demonstrators who weren't able to get them during the pre-order sometime after celebration is over, but I don't have an exact date on when that would be. So, but it has, so for us here in the South Pacific market, so let me just want to straighten up my camera a little bit. It's just annoying me there. You will have metric across the bottom and up the left-hand side, and then your imperial measurements will be across the top here and down the right-hand side. I believe if you're in the North American market where imperial is the dominant measurement, then their inches are across the bottom and across the left-hand side, and they've got metric on the other spaces. But of course, we're not in North America. We're here in the South Pacific. So, and then it has all of these different grid lines, which are fantastic, like our grid paper, to line things up. So I'm going to use this for a bit tonight, but if that light starts to bother me too much, I actually might just move it over into my craft, or my other part of my craft room. Okay. Yeah, that's what I think too, Roz. I think that they're probably on there for transporting it more than anything, but you could actually leave them on. And I may put mine back on, but you know, we'll just see. I haven't played with it enough. I've stamped on it quite a bit in the last few days, but and I do actually love it. It's such a nice surface to stamp on. But anyway, enough of the glass mat. The other thing I wanted to talk about before we start crafting is free shipping tomorrow. Hello, we asked for it and here it is. So as a Christmas gift to us all, Stampin' Up is offering us free shipping for tomorrow. tomorrow only, so Thursday the 14th of December. So if you have anything on your wish lists, there is no guarantee that if you order tomorrow that you will receive it by Christmas. That's something that's a little bit out of Stampin' Up's hands. They might be able to get it, you know, picked and shipped, but you know, with all of the stuff going on for Christmas, lots of parcels, lots of post, there's no guarantee that you'll get it will arrive before Christmas. So if you want to order something that you want it to be under the tree, then you've probably missed the boat for that, and I wouldn't guarantee that it would arrive, but certainly if you've got things on your wish list, you know, things that you want to pick up from the last chance sale before the holiday catalogue finishes. So, you know, this catalogue here will be leaving us, the products in, or most of the products in this catalogue will be leaving us at the end of December or very early in January. And so if there's anything that you want from there off the last chance sale, then, you know, picking it up when it's free shipping is the perfect opportunity. Also, if you just want to stock up on some of your, you know, your cardstock, your adhesives, those sorts of things, then it's a good time to do that. So don't forget, tomorrow, your order needs to be over $65. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. And then you'll get free shipping. Hi, Sonia. How you going? All right, so tonight we're going to be having a look at some new products from our upcoming mini catalogue. So this is our January to April 2024 mini catalogue. Again, I can't show you the inside, but for those of you who are customers of mine, yours are winging their way to you. A couple of people have already picked theirs up from me. They couldn't wait for them to get in the post. But those that are getting them by post, they're on their way to you. So you'll have some light reading over Christmas. You'll be able to make your lists, put all your tags on them, mark your favourites, all ready for ordering on the 4th of January. So I'm just going to, a couple of things I'm going to feature tonight. I'm going to be featuring the Ice Cream Swirl bundle. So this stamp set and the coordinating dies for this stamp set. So we have ice cream. You know, what's more iconic in Australia in summer than ice cream? Actually, I actually made some ice cream today. So I have an ice cream maker, and you know, when I'm feeling, you know, like I can be bothered, I actually make some ice cream. So my son had been asking me for a while if I'd make some. So I threw some on today, and it's in the freezer, and I hope to have some of that when I'm finished my live tonight. So if there's any left, hopefully they will save me some. But yeah, so ice cream is the theme for tonight, and also this bundle will be my class in January. So both the in-person and the online class in January will be using this bundle, the Ice Cream Swirl. So it's a bundle, it's not a suite, so it only comes with the stamps and the die. It doesn't come with, you know, coordinating papers or anything like that. So I thought, you know, what am I going to use it with? Well, I found that, of course, it's getting to the end of the, excuse me, I can't even speak, I'm getting so tired. This is let me see what it's called. It's the one that comes with the balloon, the hot air balloon bundle suite, sorry, and I think it is called Lighter Than Air is the name of the designer series paper. So it's this one here that is in part of the Lighter Than Air suite, but I think it's perfect for ice cream. All these pastels are such beautiful colours. So we have this one with the balloons and sort of in a heart shape, so would work well for Valentine's Day. We have just a striped one here, a spotty one, this one with like a scalloped edge on it, scallops and dots, a bit like one of our dies, I think, from the scallop contour dies. And this sort of almost like a herringbone diamond sort of pattern and a chevron pattern. And then on the back we have some lemon lolly stripes. So petal pink, lemon lolly, pool party. I've got some clouds here. I think the blue is azure afternoon, and some stripes. Hi Michelle. Merry Christmas to you too. Yeah, so I thought this would work perfectly for using with the ice cream bundle. So that's what we're going to use tonight. But the other thing I'm going to be featuring is something that caught my eye when I was going through the catalogue, and it just jumped into my basket. You know, like I don't know how it got there, but it just jumped in. And then when I checked out, there it was. So I love hybrid dies. So this is a hybrid bundle. So you get the dies and the embossing folder. And the great thing about this, so it has all of these. No, we can see that light sort of shining on it. But you've got all of these sets of words. So thank you, hello, a happy day, thinking of you, love you, you make me happy, get well, celebrate, just because, and with sympathy. So all of the occasions covered there, most of them. And then you have this set of dies which will cut out those all of those sentiments. And the great thing about it is it will actually work in your embossing folder. Okay, so you just slip it in there, and it sort of sits like that, sort of locks in around the words, and then you pop your paper in and run it through your Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, and it will cut all of those out. So I had a bit of a play with it over the last couple of days, and there's a few different things that I did with it, and I was pretty impressed with how many different things I could actually come up with. So I'm going to go through with you all of the different ways. Well, it's probably not the only, someone else will come up with something else, I'm sure, but these are the ways I found I could actually use it before I actually start. So first of all, I just pop my die in there. I'm not going to do them all. I'm just going to show you the end result, because otherwise we'll be here all night. And then where's my cardstock? I just cut a piece of cardstock down to the size. It's sort of almost probably 6 by 6. Closed it up and ran it through. Okay, and what I got when I did that was a mat, basically. So what it did was it cut out the shape. Okay, so you know, it cut out the whole lot, and I ended up with all of these shapes. And I thought, well, that's okay, but you know, it's a bit hard to see what it is, isn't it? It's just a shape. So the next thing I did was, let me see. What I did was, in this one, once I cut out the shape, then I actually just went over it. I went over the raised portion of it with a Stamp and Blend. So I used the same colour, sort of predominantly, and I think I used the dark crumb cake here. So they ran a crumb cake piece through, and got, so this is what it looked like before I, sorry, I've confused myself. So let's start again. This one here is not with the embossing folder. That is just running the die straight through your die cutting machine. Will give you that mat, right? Using it in the embossing folder will give you this one. So you have the embossed word on it, and then cut around. And then, just to make it a bit more prominent, I used my blend to actually colour in the raised part of it, okay? And then what I did was, what I'm actually going to show you how to do tonight, was I used a brayer, which is a tool that you know, Stampin' Up! Used to carry a long time ago. And I don't know if you all remember a few lives, well, probably a couple of months ago, I wanted to do a live using my brayer and I couldn't actually find it. I was frantic. But in the new mini catalogue, there is a new brayer, but tonight I'm just going to be using my old one. What I did was I actually inked up the embossing folder and then I cut it out. Okay, so what I got was these words with ink around them, around the embossed edges, and then cut out. How cool is that? Okay, so that's what I'm going to do tonight. So you get some other dies too with this large word die. So there's some flowers and some hearts and some rainbows, some stars, some little clouds, and then just some foliage there. So lots of dies in there. So I'm gonna make a bit of a mess tonight, because always when I'm brayering, there's always a bit of mess. And I'm going to actually bring in some grid paper on top of my glass mat, because I'm going to end up with ink everywhere otherwise. And that shine is really that glare is really starting to annoy me. Okay, so what I've got is my embossing folder. And this is my brayer from many, many years ago. So I've had it since I very first joined Stampin' Up, probably more than 16 years ago now. But like I said, there is a new brayer in the mini catalogue. It's a little bit different to this one. It has a wire handle, but at the end of the day, it does exactly the same thing. And I've actually chosen, I'm just going to use, I think this is Highland Heather. I think I might have used Gorgeous Grape before. Let me just grab my Gorgeous Grape. So I can't remember whether I used Gorgeous Grape or Highland Heather when I was playing around before. So I'm just going to open up my ink pad. And let me I'm going to move that out of the way first. So first of all, I'm just going to ink up my brayer, and I'm just going to do that by continuously rolling on my pad. Now, don't just go like this, back and forward, because what you'll find is you only get ink in a small space. You need for the barrel to completely roll around so that you get ink all over it. Okay. Let me just close that up so I don't end up with ink everywhere. So now I'm going to, on the side of the embossing folder where you've got the outline of the words and they're raised up, so the one that's got the Stampin' Up! Logo on it, not this one where you've got the sort of what would be the debossed side when you actually emboss it, you are going to ink that up. So, and I tried to do it with a very light hand. Okay, you are going to get some ink in between, unless your embossing folder is perfectly flat, and you'll find once you run it through a few times, it won't be flat anymore. And so you will get ink in those spaces in between. So then I'm going to take my die. This is where it can get a bit messy because you're going to get ink on your fingers. And then we're going to pop a piece of cardstock over the top and close it up. Then I'm just going to bring in without moving that too much, I'm going to bring in my stamp, cut and emboss machine, and hopefully you can see that. And because it's a thick folder, I'm going to be using just my #1 plate and my grey embossing plate. Everything, because it's really sweaty in here, everything's really sticky. And I'm going to stand up because it is a little bit tight, because you've actually got a thick embossing folder and your die in it. You are going to have to give it a good turn. Okay, let me just move that out of the way. And hopefully we have success. I hope I've got everything all back the front. Okay, so you will have ink on your die, and you will have to, I'll have to give that a clean later on. And your embossing folder. So you can just, I could just use my, where's my silicone? Sorry, my chamois. I could just give that a wipe with my chamois if I was going to use it again, or at the end of my crafting session, I would just go and run that under the cold water, and all of that will come off. So then what I have is all of these letters, or all of these words that have been inked and die cut all in one go. There's also one that has hearts, all different lots of hearts, which I think might actually make its way into my basket as well. But I only got this one to start with. So there you go. There's all of our words all inked up and cut out. And I can actually turn that light on at the back now. So you can see, fabulous. I really, really like that. I think that is, first of all, you get all of this in one go. And you could, I've done this on white, but you could do it on coloured cardstock as well. So like I showed you before, I did it here on the pool party with, I think that might be the Azure Afternoon ink. So you could do that in lots of different colours. Then the other thing you can do, so this one that I showed you before, that's just the embossed one, you could also bring back in your brayer. And I'm not going to re-ink it, but I'm just going to show you. You can actually then, with a very, very light hand, you could just roll over the top of that. And then you've got a coloured one. So if you didn't want to do it with your blends, you could do it just with your ink like that. So, got a little bit of ink on my hands, but we'll be good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using this one, the Just Because, for our card. I know, I love it too, Jeanette. I think it's fantastic. And it's a bit dirty on that side, but I just want to get rid of that purple ink. The other thing I am going to do with this one is I am going to colour this with a blend, and I'm actually going to use Fresh Freesia, which is one of the colours that's in that coordinates with the paper that I'm using. So I think I'm actually just going to use the bullet tip end, and I'm just going to very gently colour that embossed area. So who thinks that this is something they could see themselves using? I actually think it's a brilliant product to have. I can already think of so many things that I could use it for. Yeah, how effective is that? So again, I've got that darker line around the outside, outlining my word, and the coloured in on the inside, and then sort of I don't know that you can really see in the camera, but it's raised up, it's embossed. So, and it's like it's got a mat behind it. So, I mean, I did cut those mats out before, but you could use, you know, let me see, let me bring back the Celebrate one. So this one, which is the one that's cut purely from the dies, and this one, you could then actually just mat that on top of that by just offsetting it slightly, and then you've got a mat. So, you know, you could do that with black and, you know, any colour, so to coordinate with your project. So you just, you know, stick that on, but just offset a little bit, so then you've got a mat behind it. So lots and lots of things that you can do with that. So now look, I've got a whole little bowl of things that I can use. Look out for lots of cards made with these. All right, so now our ice creams. Okay, so I'm using the big ice cream tonight, and I'm going to stamp that in. What have I got here? What happened to my lemon lolly stamp pad? Just had that out before. What did I do with it? Really? Oh, I put it into that silicone pad mat thing to show you all how it stays there, and then I put that off to the side and couldn't find it. So this is the outline. There actually isn't a solid one of these in the set. You have just the outline and the cone basically, and then a few. You've got the donut, the strawberry, and the cherries, the little swizzle stick, whatever that is, and then your words. So there isn't actually a solid one. So we're going to ink this up in the lemon lolly. I'm just going to stamp that. And I'm going to be doing a bit of work with blends tonight. So I'm actually going to colour that in with my lemon lolly blend. So I'm going to start with my light one. So normally I'd start with dark, but I'm going to just start with a light one here. And I just wanted this to have just a little bit more colour than just the outline. So I know I've been asking you this question every week for the last few weeks, but are we all ready for Christmas? Or are we making that last mad dash? I've actually started my Christmas shopping, which I'm very impressed about for me, because normally I'm a last minute girl. So I've got a few presents, which I did last weekend. Hopefully I'm going to finish it all this weekend. I'm just waiting for my boys to give me a few suggestions about things that they'd like. You know, when they were little, it was so easy, because I would just go out and buy, you know, I would choose and I would buy them, you know, whatever I wanted to buy them, and they were happy with whatever you got them. But now they're a bit older, or quite a bit older. They're much more discerning these days, and they have very strong opinions about the things that they want and don't want. So So I like to get a list of them, which, you know, they're always really slack at giving me. And then I'll go out and finish the shopping. All right, so now I'm just going to bring in my dark marker. I'm just going to give a bit of a flick in those. So I'm not colouring really, I'm just sort of flicking with that brush end. Got to finish putting up the Christmas decorations this weekend. I've started but not finished those, so that's another job that's on my list for this weekend. So I figure if I don't do them this weekend, I will have really missed the boat, won't I? Then I'm just going to come back in with my light marker and just blend those out a bit. I just really want to get rid of the harsh edges. And I think that just gives it just a bit more dimension than just the outline. And then while I'm here, I'm going to stamp the cone. So I'm just going to do that on a piece of crumb cake with the pecan pie. And then I'll just going to pop over and die cut those. I won't bring the machine back in underneath the camera. So these dies here, we have this one here which cuts a bit of a swirl. So that one cuts like this one here, which you can sort of put over the top. If you cut a solid one, so you could cut a solid one from cardstock here. Which I have one here that I've actually cut and coloured this one on yellow cardstock. So I did the same thing here, but I stamped this one on yellow and then coloured it in the same way that I coloured this one. But you could actually just have it in the yellow and then just put your layer over the top like that. So this one I'm going to just cut out using that die. And then you will notice that the cone die is actually like a double-ended, and it creases it in the center, so you can make a tag out of it, or you can just snip it off here. And you've also got one that will just do embossing. So if you didn't want to do the stamping, you could actually just emboss your cone. And get that same sort of texture that it looks like you've got in the stamp. So I'm just going to pop over and cut those two out. Just give me a sec. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, what was that we call that on radio? Dead air? Hi Marika, how you going? Oh, you got a thunderstorm going there, have you? We haven't got one yet, but certainly expecting one to come a bit later on. So we did actually get a warning that there was going to be some hail, so hopefully that's not the case, because we have lots of cars out in the drive that we can't fit in it undercover. So you'll see here that when I cut that has, I don't know if you can see that little line there. So that you could fold that in half to actually make a tag. But I'm actually just going to bring in my trimmer and cut that off. So right along that line. Ooh, it's a bit furry. I think I need a new blade. Always seems to be needing new blades. So then this is now going to sit just on the top of my cone there. But just before, I'm not sure whether I actually like this yellow one better. What do you think, ladies? This one or the white one? Maybe we'll put it onto the paper first and then decide. So just before I put that cone on, that's a good idea, Roz. Yes, you could use it to make invitations. So I'm just going to actually just give a bit of use my blending brush to just give a bit of colour to the edge of that that cone. Bit of blending around the edges makes all the difference, I think. Not quite so stark. Oops, that was no good. Stuck my finger right in the ink. Okay. I think I am going to use this paper here. So I'm just going to cut that down to a card front size. So, sorry, first layer, so 10 centimetres by 14.4. You like the yellow one, Mel? Wait, we'll see when we've got it on the... So what I'm going to do is actually pop that on there, like that. And then we're just going to use some of the other elements, because, you know, we can't have an ice cream without something on the top of it, right? So here I've already put on the blocks of strawberry and a cherry. And I think what I might do is I'm going to do a similar thing to what I did with the words, is I'm going to stamp the outline of that one in the grape, and then I'll stamp the cherry in petal pink. Come back in with the blends. I'm going to use my light freesia, and I'm just going to colour that in. Now I'm using a very, very light touch and trying not to go over those over the lines and the stamping too much, because it will actually make them bleed. Because normally if you were using blends, you would stamp in Memento, but I didn't want that harsh, you know, that harsh black outline. So which it's fine to actually use your ink pads. Just be mindful that when you're colouring, if you go over the stamped line too much, it will actually bleed. And I think I might just a bit of my dark blend just here, a bit around the bottom, and I need a green to colour that in. So I have my Granny Apple Green here. I'm just going to colour those. My stalk there. Okay, and then I would die cut those out, and just to save time, I have already gone ahead and done those earlier. And then I've also done the little, what do they call those? Those little cone things that they stick in them. I don't know what they're called. If anybody knows what they're called, let me know. Okay. So now with these, going to pop those just up on the top here. A wafer. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sonia. A wafer. So we're just going to pop those in there. So that's with the white one, or we could swap the white one out and use the yellow one. Just thinking that the yellow one might be just a little heavy once you've got it on the striped paper. So tell me, what do you think? The yellow one or the white one? So then we've got a couple of different choices for now. Let me see if I can find my words. So our words are going to go just across here. Yellow and white pops, the white one. So we've got 2 for yellow, 2 for white. So maybe the card base will help us choose. So I've just got a couple of options here. I didn't pull out a lot of stuff for the card base. So we've either got Pool Party, or, so that's on the Pool Party. Or we have the white. I like the white because it's soft. You know, it goes with those pastels, but the Pool Party works equally well. So do we have a preference for card base, white or Pool Party? Sonia says Pool Party. Then I think maybe if we use the Pool Party, then possibly I think they're both equally as nice. So Mel likes the white card base. Okay, we need a decider. We've got one for Pool Party and one for white. The next one wins. White. Roz says white. We'll go with white. The winner is white. So if we go with white, do we want a white or a yellow ice cream? So yeah, let me bring in our white again. Our sentiment across there. I think they both work equally as well. So Mel still likes the yellow. Sonia likes the yellow. Roz still likes the yellow. Look, we'll go with the yellow. We'll go with the yellow. Okay, this designing's all exhausting. All right, so we're going to pop that on there. We're just going to use a little bit of liquid glue. Make 2 cards. Yes, well, I will make 2 cards, Marika. I will use the other one. I'm just going to pop that on there, so make sure that I've got it in the right position. Once I've done that, then I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back. So Sonia, I'm just looking back through the comments, sorry, now that I've got a couple of minutes. You're having your family Christmas this Sunday. That's a good idea. That's and then what will you do on Christmas Day? Will you still get together with family on Christmas Day? Right, do you think I've got enough dimensionals on that? Actually, I might stick my paper on my card base first. Make it easier. You're cooking dinner. Is that on Christmas Day or is that now, Sonia? Didn't bring my tweezers out tonight. So. Oh, I just love those colours. They make my heart happy. And they're the perfect accompaniment to this ice cream sweet, I think. Sorry, bundle, not sweet. Got a dimensional backing stuck to my finger. Okay. A couple of mini dimensionals on our wafer. Sliding all over the place here. Yes, you hear the door there? It's my son who forgot that I was live obviously wanting to tell me something. Oops. Okay, so lastly we've just got our words, which we'll just pop in across there. I'm thinking I might just put a mini dimensional on this end to support it. And then just a bit of liquid glue on this end. Okay, there you go. There's our card. Don't think I'm even going to use any extra embellishments. Although that said, so these are the coordinating embellishments that come with that suite. Yes, Wink of Stella probably would work like that, Ross. Actually, I did actually do one before with Wink of Stella. Let me just bring that one in. But I actually think my Wink of Stella, I must have got some, I must have used it on a dark colour, because it seems to be picking up, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like picking up a bit of a dark sort of colour. So I didn't actually want to use it on the white, but if I break out a new one, I'll probably that would probably work. But that's on the layer, so that could have been over the top of that as well. But I do like how you just have that subtle sort of pattern there on your shading on your ice cream. And then we have these embellishments here, but I think it's already got enough colour on it. I don't think I'm actually going to use the embellishments. There is also some ribbon from that lighter than air suite. So this is the twine. Comes in the 3 colours. So about the sort of same thickness as regular baker's twine, but it's just the single colour, not the two colours like we've got in the in colour one. Sorry, Roz. Yeah, you have to have it. It's a beautiful set. And then maybe just on the inside, I'm thinking, what can I do on the inside? I did actually have floating around here somewhere. You should see the side of my desk off to the side here. It's such a mess. I did stamp and colour a few of the donuts. So here are some of the donuts. So you cut those out with a little hole in the centre. So you could sort of pop some of those in around the bottom of the cone there. If you wanted to add a bit more to it, but I think it's probably already got enough on the front. So there you go, there's a couple of donuts. So on the inside, I'm just going to use what's this one? Hope Your Day is Sweet. Let's just stamp that one in. What colour shall I stamp it in? Maybe what I could do is bring back in our ice cream. Just stamp that off a little bit. I'm just going to stamp that right in the middle there. Very, very subtle. And then maybe stamp my centre sentiment, so you can just see that just on the inside there, and maybe stamp my sentiment in didn't bring out my fresh freezer, maybe in Pool Party. Actually, what you could do is just bring in a little piece of that. That's the bit that we cut off the bottom of our sheet. Waste not, want not, isn't that what they say? Well, those little strips come in handy. There you go. There's our finished card. So I hope you enjoyed that one. I did predominantly start out wanting to show you the, I keep forgetting the name of that die set. So it is the Thoughtful Moments dies and hybrid embossing folder. But then I got carried away. I had so much new product to use. I thought, oh, I just have to, seeing it's my last live before Christmas, I wanted to give you a bit more of a sneak peek of some of the things that'll be coming in January. So I hope you enjoyed that. Hi Diane, how you going? Never too late. You can always go back and watch the replay. Okay. So let me know whether you liked that. So now we want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Like I said, it's my last live. I was going to go live next Wednesday as usual, but unfortunately I have to go into the office next Wednesday in the city, and I've by the time I've got to go public transport, so by the time I get home and get sorted, it'll be quite late. So I thought I would just make this one my last, but you know, who knows, if I can get myself organized, I might pop on sometime between now and Christmas, but I'm not promising that. So so everybody, I hope you all have a fantastic Christmas and New Year, and that you get to spend some me time over the festive break. Hopefully you're all having a little bit of time off, even if it is just over Christmas, and that you get to relax and recharge, and maybe get a bit of crafting in somewhere over the Christmas holidays. And I will see you all back here in January sometime, and I think it will be about the second week in January. I haven't really settled our holidays yet, so I'll be going up to Eildon for a few days, like I normally do at Christmas. So I'm not sure how long we'll stay up there, but if you just look out for a post on my business page, I will let you know when I'm going to be back live. Okay, so have a good Christmas everybody, and I'll see you all again in 2024. Okay, see you later.